My name is Inakake Achumi, representing the Eastern Christian College. Well, on this topic, I believe the woman has every right to decide what's good for her body, and she should not be pressurized against her will. Well, women's ability to access and safe legal abortions is restricted in law or practice in most countries in the world. In fact, even where abortion is permitted by law, women have often severely limited access to safe abortion because of the lack of proper regulation, political will, and health service. At the same time, only a very small minority of countries prohibit abortions. In fact, most of the countries and under the jurisdiction have the right to permit for the abortion, and it is allowed at least to save the pregnant woman's life, or where the pregnancy is resulted, or where the pregnancy is result of rape, or in case abortion is highly emotional subject and one of the fact that excites deeply held opinions. However, equitable access to safe abortion service is the first and foremost human rights. Thank you.
My name is Gyuka Yapto from Eastern Christian College. I was speaking against the motion on the topic, should abortion be legalized? I strongly believe abortion should not be legalized because it is wrong. Abortion leaves a bad impact on the woman. Women after abortion tends to have lower self-esteem, lack of confidence, and doubts whether they will ever be pregnant again. Abortion, though not legal, there is a consideration in cases of sexual assault and rapes. However, we cannot make abortion legal just because of this, because the rate of abortion due to sexual assault and rape is relatively very low as compared. There is no religion in the world that propagates or allows killing of the innocents, and there is no abortion in the world that does not end with the death of a child. Thank you. God bless.
A very good morning to all of you. I am going to speak on motion. So should abortion be legalized? Yes, abortion should be legalized. Why not? Women should have right over their body. We all know abortion is legal in India through the Medical Termination Act of 1971, and I am very much proud that we have such progressive law in our country. But because of the taboo that is associated with abortion that is carried out in India are unsafe, the majority of it. And according to WHO, 73 million unsafe abortions take place every year throughout the world. And according to estimate made from 2012, 7 million women are treated in the hospital because of the complications caused due to unsafe abortion. So, talking about unsafe abortion, I'm thinking about those pro-activists and leaders and people who are advocating and authorizing the legalization of abortion and talking about how precious life is, how important life is. I think about those millions of thousands and millions of women dying because they are denied the right to abortion. I would rather see a child unborn than to see a child in one of those refugee camps or orphanage left in the streets begging. Some are even murdered because they are unwanted children. So I would rather see a child unborn than to see a child suffering those. And I am very sorry, but the rights you're fighting for is that those children does not deserve it. Thank you.
I am Kevin of Livingstone Foundation International College, and I hereby stand against the motion on the topic, should abortion be legalized? No, I don't believe that abortion should be legalized. Why? Abortion, just an 8-letter word, but yet so powerful to take away someone's life. A child who is being killed at the birth, before even born, who can't even defend himself. A child who didn't get a chance to even blink, but was taken every right for him or her before even he or she was born. So don't you think so that abortion shouldn't be legalized? Talking about health-related issues, abortion is not always successful. Yes, abortion is not always successful. It leads to a high risk of miscarriage in a woman and to the extent of even killing a woman. Now, in this today's society, due to the easy availability of abortion pills, we can see people are living so carelessly, and also to the extent of taking lives granted. Me, as a part of a Christian state in the country of India, I believe in my religious teaching, and my religious teaching says that no one else has the right to take your life rather than God. Not me, not you, or not anyone else here. So I believe that abortion shouldn't be legalized. Talking about practices done by our forefathers and everyone, we can see that in the past history there was no such kind of abortion done where our forefathers or anyone, our ancestral, followed. So why now? Why now abortion should be legalized at this point of time? Don't you think so? So with these last words, I would like to end my speech by saying that why sex when you can't take responsibilities? Why not live a righteous life for an everlasting happiness? I am Kevin of Livingstone Foundation International College, representing the team against the motion on the topic, should abortion be legalized? Thank you so much.
Well, my name is Nongyayal Gunyak, representing Sakus Mission College, Dimapur. And I'm standing here for the motion that standing in a frame that abortion should be legal. Why? Because, see, looking back to our education system, sex education is not even a part of our education. Oh, yeah, institution and our education. Then why should we ban the system of abortion?
My name is Katuj Momi and I represent Sakus Mission College, and I am currently pursuing my bachelor's degree in political science. I stand against abortion because I believe that it is legalized murder. Abortion. When talking about abortion, we talk about women's rights, a woman's rights over her body. But we are not talking about a woman's right, rather we are talking about the right of the unborn child, whether he or she gets to live. Who speaks out for the rights of the unborn child? See, we talk about women's rights, but a study published by the British journal Psychiatry has shown that 81% out of 877,000 women have regretted their decision of abortion. They have shown long-term causes of anxiety and depression over their decision of abortion. And also, when we legalize abortion, we can see a mass deaths in female infants, because as we know, we live in a patriarchal society, and the family prefers the male child over the female child. So when we talk about abortion, we cannot say that it is for the woman's rights. And also, when does abortion occurs? It is mostly done outside of the marriage bed. So, when a woman and a man agrees to engage in sexual intercourse, they are agreeing to the fact that they will bring a life on this earth. But it has been made so cheap, a life has been made so cheap for our pleasure, that we disregard the life of a baby over our rights, so-called rights, and our right to have pleasure. The sanctity of the marriage bed must be maintained. And such, we cannot promote this evil act of abortion just for the sake of the rights of the woman. Thank you.
I am Kay Chunchun of Dimapur Government College, standing for motion on the topic, should abortion be legalized? Before I get into my thing, let us first get a clear concept of what abortion is. Abortion is derived from a Latin word abortus, which means it is a process of removing fetus from a mother's womb to end pregnancy. And I'm sure my fellow debaters have prepared a lot of articles, data, figures stating why abortion should be legalized or why abortion should not be legalized. But if you are here stating just for an argument to state that abortion should be legal, if you are just here for an argument stating that abortion should be legalized or illegalized, I should say that you are very much wrong. You are not aware why people are into abortion. You don't know the reason why people are into abortion. Firstly, today I would like to give out my 2 valid points why people are into abortion and when people are compelled to do abortion and why abortion should be legalized. First, physical risks. When I say physical risks, I mean the physical structure of a mother. When a mother is having a serious illness in her body and he is not able to give birth to a child, what is your opinion? Having been recorded by the medicals stating that if you continue to be pregnant, you will lose your life. At this point, what do you think? Do you not think that it is necessary to be legalized? There are many cases where pregnant women lost their life because abortion was denied to them. One such incident happened in Ireland, and an Indian origin named Savita, she was a victim of this because when she was diagnosed, her doctor ahead of time reminded that if you remain pregnant without abortion, your life will be gone. And yes, she is the victim. Her life was gone and she was suffered from sepsis. What is sepsis? It is serious threatening diseases caused by infection. And because of that, the life of the people in Ireland were triggered and they started demanding for safe and legal abortion. Next, my point is mental health. Mental health is another very important thing in our life. Am I right? Am I right? So, mental health. We are very much aware of the rape victims, right? It is a very open topic. We are very much aware of this rape victim and what they do. Many people, they give out their life, they live out their life and they suicide, they even tend to suicide. But not forgetting the few people who tend to have support, who tend to hope for a better future. What about them? This is my question to my opponent. Do you think it is your right to judge whether they should be aborted? And this is my question to the audience. Do you think it is the right of the people, of the victim, of the very victim? So I think abortion should be very much legalized. And yes, abortion is not a murder because as per the IPC section 10, it says that abortion, it says that a human being is defined not because of a male age or a female age, but the fetus which is present in the womb is not a human being, and so it cannot be regarded as a murder, and hence abortion should be legalized. Thank you.
Everyone, I am Joel representing St. John College, Dimapur, and today I'm standing here with a firm statement that yes, abortion should be legalized. It has been scientifically proven that abortion is not a murder because the fetus of a human is a dead body and the child doesn't feel pain. And abortion is being done within 26 weeks, and during the 26 weeks, the fetus of a human is dead, so the child doesn't feel pain. And the biggest murder is after being given birth, throwing the child in the drainage. That is the biggest murder, which we have seen and we have heard that a child has been dumped in a drainage. If I talk about the rape cases, as per 2019, rape cases that we have witnessed is 39,000 in India only. So if all the rape cases without using protection has been raped forcefully, don't we think that the girl has any vision of her life? We has been deteriorated. The girl, if you force her to give birth, what will be the consequence of our future? We are deteriorating someone else's life. And when I talk about the mental health, the woman who is not physically or mentally fit to give birth to a child, how can we expect to give a birth to a children? And we talk about various rights, we talk about gender equality, we talk about women empowerment, but why the right has been neglected in terms of abortion? It is their body and women have the choice. It's their body whether she wants to terminate or whether she wants to. And abortion is not be done on the basis of herself. It is being done on the recommendation of the doctor. The doctor has advised her, and that is why she is terminating, because abortion is safe. I can say that because every year around the globe, we can see that 56 million abortions are being done safely. And those abortions which are not being done safely, it's because of the environmental situation. Like abortion are illegal in some country. That is why some abortion are not being safe. But when I have to do comparison, abortion is safe. We are living in the 21st century where we are using modern medicine and technology for abortion. To conclude, not only in India but all over the world, yes, abortion should be legalized. Thank you.
I'm Meenakshi from St. Joseph University, going to present my views and against of should abortion be legalized. So I would say no, abortion should be illegal. The first question raises why. So I would say abortion is like a murder. As before, one of my member from against team denoted that a baby inside mother's womb does not feel pain. So if I say, if I kill you with the giving of injection so that you won't feel pain, so it won't consider as murder? Sure, it's considered as murder. Killing a child inside mother's womb just before 1 minute of taking birth can be considered as abortion, and just after 1 minute of birth can be considered as murder? No. Abortion is murder. The second point I would like to denote is the health of the woman. Yes, 48.5 million of abortion is done all around the world in a year. So you can think that 48.5 million lives has been killed by doctors and by the women intentionally. Can you think the number? How much is it? Can you count the numbers? 48.5 million on your fingers? No. If 48.5 million people died after that, can you see the dead bodies? Yes, obviously, you can't see. They are too much in numbers. And what I feel is abortion is surely a murder, so it should be illegal.
No woman can call herself free until she can choose consciously whether she will or will not be a mother. Hi, good morning everyone. I am Tanado Sumi, representing St. Joseph University. Today my topic will be based on abortion should be legalized. It is true that pregnancy brings happiness to the life of a parent, those who are waiting anxiously for it. The life of a baby brings happiness to the life of a parent. But what if they are not prepared? What if they are not prepared? What if they are not prepared but the state forces them to have a baby? First thing first, let us all keep in mind that a child should be planned but should not be forced. What is the use of a law which is vulnerable to its own people? If my friends say that abortion should be illegal, why don't we look at those rape victims, those incest victims, those who are sexually manipulated, those who don't want to carry a baby, but it is forced by the law? Will you look at their social dignity? Will you take care of their babies? Will you take responsibilities? I have an example from our hometown. That is my hometown. One hometown guy. He was born out of unprotected sex. His family did not take responsibilities of him. He was considered an outsider. He was not allowed to inherit property. He was not allowed to receive education. He was just kept in his hometown. He was not allowed to explore. He was just kept in his hometown. And then recently, last year, he died due to suicide. These are some of the incidents. Let's not talk about USA, but let's talk about India. Let's talk about Nagaland. Rape victims, incest victims. Those victims, our society is so contagious, Our society is so evil. We will look at them and we will say, these babies are born out of unprotected sex. It is the women who seduce the baby. But what about the woman? What if she doesn't want to carry the baby? And then let us also keep in mind that not all pregnancies are safe. Not all pregnancies are safe. The statistic says that 1 out of 10%. Okay, I'll conclude my statement with a statement saying that it is better to abort than burden in instability. Thank you.
This is one of the most sensible talks, that we deny to speak upon. But here we are today, not for the sake of debate, but for the sake of the truth that we need to stand on. I am Martha Padon from the 5th semester Department of History, and I am here standing representing Unity College Dimapur, and I am standing firmly against the so-called right, should abortion be legalized. When I heard this topic first and the controversy that started, abortion, even though either it is legalized or not legalized, it has been happening. It has been happening behind the scenes. And today the fire just broke out because it was legalized by the Constitution of India. If the Constitution of India could give a right to murder, why not do it in another way? They say that pregnancies are not safe, or pregnancies happen this and that, some are rape victims. Yes, we understand. So if the Constitution of India knows what is going around, they can host something else rather than murder. They say pregnancy, pregnant women is not that is not murder. How can you say that? Because when a woman is pregnant, she and the baby is already registered in the mortality rate, pregnancy mortality rate. So he or she, the baby, becomes a part of India. It becomes a part of the country that he or she is registered to. Then how can the Constitution of India state its right, Article 27, right to life? And that same Constitution gives right to a woman to kill her own baby, saying that she has a right on her body. Do you think it's right? They can do so much rather than to murder. How can you even say that that is not illegal? If I had an opportunity to stand at the Constitution of India, I will still state the same. The same Constitution giving right to life, how can that same Constitution give a right to murder? Because that does not have a point. And if you talk about population control, or if you talk about the things around, it has been. People were living in history with the same thing. There was no talk known as, this legalization of abortion. If you talk about population, India's population, we take it as a threat, but we also know that the population of India has helped it to grow to a 5th rank around the world, crossing the UK's GDP. So thank you so much for this time, as well as I would like to conclude with this question. Are you really here for the debate that, to win, or you just here for the force, or are you really thinking about this? And I, Stanley, will forever stand firm that abortion should be illegal. Thank you.
My name is Teresa Rochil, and I am from the Department of Political Science, Unity College, Dimapur. Firstly, I would like to extend my gratitude to Immanuel College for inviting us to such an outstanding and incredible competition. And today I am standing here for the motion. Should abortion be legalized? Yes, why not? As my fellow mates have already stated, a fetus is not considered as living until 27 or 28 weeks. Every woman has a right to make a choice regarding her own body. Article 21 of the Indian Constitution clearly states that no citizen of India shall be deprived of his life and personal liberty. Personal liberty, in this context, we're also talking about the personal health of an individual. Every woman has the right to make a choice. What is the point of bringing a child into this world if a woman is not mentally, physically, and economically ready to provide the child with the best living standards or with the best living situations or environment? My dear brothers and sisters, NCRB report states that 31,677 rape cases has been reported between the year 2021 to 2022. Can you imagine the pain that those females have to go through? Can you imagine the torment that they have to experience? I should say that I am very much proud to be an Indian where the Constitution allows a woman to make a choice regarding her own body. If a woman is not willing to accept a child, what's the point of bringing a child? Because it will already be considered as a murder if the child is not provided with the best of the best he can have. Therefore, without taking much of the time, I strongly believe that abortion should be legalized. Thank you.
It is a poverty to decide that a child must die so that you may live as you wish, quoted by Mother Teresa. A very good morning to each and everyone present here. My name is Analika T. Zimomi, and I am from Pranab Ananda Women's College. The first thing a child feels as they enter this world is the loving embrace of a mother. So tell me why it is that love is different for a child that is born and a child that is not born. Why is that so? Why is that a woman who is pregnant, her right is kept first, and the fetus that's inside of her, a growing human inside, why is it that those rights are silenced? It is a fact known by the researchers of Minnesota that a baby on its 20th week of development develops pain receptors. As my fellow opponents have said, that the baby doesn't feel such pain or something, and I highly disagree with that. The baby on its 20th week of development feels more pain than any adult can, and it's in that week, the 20th week or the 24th week, where the heartbeat of a baby is said to be felt, that doctors recommend an abortion. I mean, if that isn't human right abuse, I don't know what else is. A woman has rights over her body. Yes, I agree with that. But what about that same right? I mean, isn't that same right applied to that baby too? The human rights that a human so fights and struggles for, that baby has the same right. So why take it away? Why? Because it's not born, or because it's not important yet? I would like to end my speech here by saying that life doesn't start from birth. Life starts from the moment of conception. From the moment a woman is deemed to be pregnant, life starts then. Thank you.
My name is Ling Bini Dongoy, and I'm broadly representing Pranabanandan Women's College. I will be speaking on the topic, should abortion be legalized? Yes, abortion should be legalized, and it is highly responsible on the MTB Act of 1971, because the Indian Constitution has given the right for abortion. Well, our fellow opponent have said that it is a murder, well, scientifically, it is not true that abortion is a murder. Because when we first heard the word abortion, every one of us, we are constantly disturbed with the thought that abortion is a crime or it's an act of inhumanity. Well, a fetus, many of the members of medical community have come, and the researchers have stated that protecting or destructing and also conserving is a very different thing, and a fetus is something that which is not living, cannot be counted as a living organism, and it is a potential life. So in my point, what I want to say is that abortion should be legalized. Because if we are against abortion, then think about the rape victims. Let me give you an instance, an example of El Salvador. In El Salvador, many thousands of women were raped. The rise of teenage pregnancies rise up, and you know what happened? Do you know what happened today? Since the government banned abortion, since the government of El Salvador banned abortion, the victims, they committed suicide. So I want you to ask a question to yourself. The same thing is going on in our own country. The same thing that is happening in El Salvador is happening in our own country. So I want you to ask a question. Do you think if the government of El Salvador have permitted the victim to go for abortion will save their life? Do you think that if they have not banned abortion, they will have saved your life? They will have saved millions of lives. So please be wise enough. And when you are saying that abortion should be illegal, please be very wise to say that we are going to save thousands of lives. And most importantly, the mental health of every individual is very important. So I would like to conclude by saying that it's not about bearing a child. It's all about raising a child. Thank you very much.
My name is Rastapa, representing Public College of Commerce. Topic, I'm against the motions and the topic, should abortion be legalized? When onto this topic, the main question arises, why the abortion should be legalized? According to the survey posted by India Today, every day 13 women who are died into the country due to improper abortions or due to unsafe abortions. Number 2 point, when you abort a child, it's equal to killing a child, as because when a child is born, it's his or her right to come into this world. Number 3 point, from the survey of Canada 2013, it is said a woman who is doing abortion twice face a problem of preterm birth. That means a baby is born before it's maturity periods. To deliver a baby, a woman needs 38 weeks of gestation. But after abortion, a woman faces the problems of delivery on the 27th week of gestation. So, on this, after looking all these points, facts and problems, we should not neglect these points, and we should all raise voice against illegal, or you can say against the abortions. Last point to support my statement. At some point or at some stage, since abortion is legal in our country, people might be thinking that people might not go for protected sex or protected intercourse or unprotected intercourse. They might be thinking that since country has given us right for abortions, they can go for unprotected intercourse, which can even rise to another huge problems, massive problems of HIV and AIDS. So to conclude, I want to appeal all that we should not neglect all these facts and figures, all these problems faced by a woman.
Today I'm here, standing here, representing Public College of Commerce from BCom 3rd Sem, and I'm here to stand for the motion on the topic, should abortion be legalized? Well, before I speak something about it, I would like to put some beam of light on what abortion really is. Well, abortion is a medical operation that ends pregnancy at an early stage. Abortion, one word, 8 letters, but it is very uncomfortable and it takes a lot of guts to speak it in front of public or at a dinner table. Abortion through religious or marriage has become a taboo because religion perspectives and marriage perspectives have led the society into diving and from sticking away to the practical side of it. Well, not being into the emotional side, but being practical, only 29 countries, there are 29 countries which do not allow abortion even if the woman is raped. 39 countries are there which only allow abortion only if there is medical emergency. That means when only the woman is at high risk that she is about to die. And there are only 56 countries where abortion is being legalized, that also not being completely, the doctors are being not regular in that manner. It is very humorous that it takes 2 people to create a child, but only the woman have to face the every burden, whether she wants to take that child or not. In a country where there is lack of sex education, we don't allow abortion. We say that it is illegal because there are religious perspectives, there are marriage perspectives. I'm not here to hurt the religious perspectives or marriage perspectives, but I think if there is no liberty to choose something, there is no spirituality which we are prevailing these days. Well, there is another fact. A few months ago, there was a case, there is a petition signed by a woman. She was 25 years old and 25 years old, 5 months, and she was in a relation with a partner, and after their unprotected contraception, the partner left him and she filed a case that she doesn't want that baby. She filed that case into the Delhi High Court, and the Delhi High Court doesn't allow that, has not taken into verdict that petition. Then she went into the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court has given the order to the Delhi High Court that there is an 3B MTP Act 1971 which says that has replaced the word husband with partner, and it also states that before it was only for women with mental illness, and there were rape victims who were allowed to have abortion, but right now it is also for the married as well as unmarried women. Married women, because rape is also considered as marital rape. So lastly, I'm not here to say that whether abortion is legalized or not, but I think that it is very unright to give women a toxic life other than having a freedom life. Thank you.
I'm from SDJ Girls College. My name is Sonia Mete, and I'm from BCom first semester honors. So I'm representing against the motion on the topic, should abortion be legalized? For me, it's no, because Abortion is a phenomenon that has been carefully considered and has continued to be a topic of contention even today. Before, it was not an important topic. However, the number of abortion has been increasing rapidly, and in some countries, abortion is being legalized, and sadly, our India is also a part of it. I strongly disagree with the idea of abortion. Like, abortion means like taking away someone's life. It's not a simple thing. According to me, everyone should be responsible for their behavior. Some people think that abortion is very easy, and they met together, and then when they notice a pregnancy, they will directly go for abortion. That's very brainless and irresponsible behavior of a person.
Myself, Sima Kumari from Sri Digambar Jain College. I'm here standing to speak in motion of that abortion should be legalized. It is considered that abortion is one of the safest medical procedure, and by following the World Health Organization's guidelines, and since abortion is becoming more safer day by day, I think it should be legalized. And not only that, when we talk about a woman in pregnancy, it is a woman who carries a baby in her womb for 9 months, and it is a woman who bears all the pains for the 9 months, and even after the birth, it is a woman who takes care of her baby. She leaves all the works, all the chores, and her first priority becomes the baby. So I think when we talk about giving a birth to a child, first we should ask a woman that whether she wants to give birth to a child or not. And if she's in against, abortion should be legalized. She should be allowed to do abortion.
If I could speak, I would say, dear mom, please don't kill me before I call you mom. I can't speak, but I want to see the beautiful world. A very good morning to all the dignitaries, panel of judges, and all the students who are present here today. I am Safikul from MGM College, standing in front of you all to share my views on the topic, should abortion be legalized? Well, abortion is the termination of human pregnancy by the removal or expulsion of a fetus or embryo from the uterus, resulting in its death. Abortion is the taking away of a human being. It should not be legalized. Mahatma Gandhi stated that it seems to me as clear as daylight that abortion would be a crime. Now the question arises, if murder is illegal, then why abortion is not illegal? Murder or abortion, it comes under a choice. So, shall murder be legalized? According to section 316 of the Indian Penal Code, any person causing death of an unborn child by accident or any other act, the person shall be punishable to the prison for a period of 10 years or even may be liable for a fine. So abortion should not be legalized. So I stand strongly on my point that abortion is not acceptable under any condition, and killing someone's life is not a good decision. Thank you.
Die out of 1 lakh unsafe abortion. 73.3 million unsafe abortions have occurred in between 2015 to 17. 3 out of 4 abortions were declared unsafe in Africa and Latin America. Between 4.7 to 13.2, maternal deaths are recorded to the unsafe abortion. What happened? Those victims happen to be our beloved mother or loving sister. I believe it is a very high time to lead the women to have their own right to decide their own body. A very good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am Imtizulu Jamir, proudly representing my humble family, MGM College. Today, I would love to stick for the motion on the topic, should abortion be legalized? Yes, I believe that abortions really need to be legalized. Why? Because women are also human like a man. They also need to have the right to make decisions of their own body. Why this abortion really need to encourage the women is that when there is unforeseen economic situations, that are going through the life, when the society doesn't appreciate her of her pregnancy, when she is jobless and she feels that she wasn't be able to support her own baby, and when she is having some health condition where the life is at risk, and also along with when the doctors advise her not to take up her baby just because of her health condition. So on all those kind of things, we should appreciate and we should allow this abortion. But looking into the conditions of the world, how do you react towards the abortion is that today we have 26 countries who are completely against this abortion. And we have 39 countries who allow when the women's life is at high risk. And we have 56 countries who even doesn't allow and just allow based on the health condition. And there was one Catholic church since the first century in the United States of America who were completely against this abortion. And even in India, we allow abortion only till 24 weeks of pregnancy. So this is my question. Why do you know that women's life is high risk, but why do they restrict the women regarding to their own rights? I believe it is a very high time to lead the women to enjoy their own rights. What happens when we doesn't allow them the abortion? They may suffer with the mental health, and that's how it may even cause the death. So I believe it's a very high time for each one of us to open up our eyes and to start working towards the women. So instead of being a victim, we should rather to be a vector and should allow this abortion in our society and let the women enjoy their own rights. Thank you so much.
My name is Waya Ashon Konyak, and I'm proudly representing Immanuel College. Now I am against the motion on abortion should not be legalized. Now let me question. Wherever we go, we often talk about humanity. Do you think that killing an innocent is inhumanity? No, right? Why abortion? Instead of killing, why don't you give birth to an innocent baby and give it to someone for an adoption so that they can love your baby and care for your baby? Abortion should totally be banned because it is affecting a mother who decided to abort psychologically. It is also leading to a health issue, and then the most serious scenario is it is also leading to the death. 60% of the unborn child, it has been killed because of the abortion. And any parents who decided to kill their unborn child, they should be given a death penalty because they don't deserve to live peacefully after killing an innocent child. Abortion, when it comes to abortion, it is also affecting the unborn child. And doctors and nurses, they decided to save our life, not to destroy. And when Idbrin, he said about his article that saddest and the most saddest article, he said that the greatest destruction of today's peace is abortion. Because if a mother can kill her own child from her womb, how can you tell another to stop the war? Because war is starting from within. Crime. Abortion is a crime. It's killing an innocent. And then abortion, it is promoting crime to our younger generation. Thank you.
Well, my name is Sida. I'm from BA third semester, and I'll be representing the Immanuel College. So my point here is, should abortion be legalized? Yes, of course, I totally agree that abortion should be legalized because I also support the pro-choice where women have the right over their autonomous body. And also in respect to that, I would like to give some statement on the World Abortion Law. You know, according to the World Abortion Law, women have been given the right to abortion as a human right, which is fundamental and which is preserved under the international and regional human rights treaties. And simply we cannot say that abortion should be illegalized. There is a very positive notes on this abortion should be legalized. And one is to save a woman's life. 41 countries fall under these categories, and I'm very appreciated to this, where 22% of women's reproductive age are being saved. And in regard to this, it also preserves the health of the women. It also, 48 countries fall under these categories, where it preserves the health and the health of the women, yes. And also, abortion is done on the social and economic grounds. Abortion does not mean that a woman who wants to abort a child simply goes to the doctors. No, it needs a guarantor, financial guarantor, economic guarantor, social guarantor. And this is done with the cooperations of the partnerships, families, and also with the medical doctors. And also in regard to this, I would like to supplement on medical terminations aid. Okay, so we talk about negative side of abortion. It is Abortion has a health complication, but let's also think about the contraceptive pills complications that cause a woman serious about it. You know, contraceptive pills has caused a woman visual side effects, migraines, spottings, nausea, and irregular menstrual bleeding. And these are the side effects of the contraceptive pills. And in regard to these, abortions, we say that when a woman undergoes abortions, they lose their fertility, but this is very wrong. Women can increase their fertility again, and this can be done under 2 weeks time. And if a woman tests a pregnancy under 3 weeks, it is a very positive sign that woman is already pregnant again, even though she aborted a child. And in regard to this, we say MTP is very essential, played a very essential role, because MTP has saved many lives, because there is a continuous pregnancy in the woman's body, and this is very injurious, serious health issues on the women. And let me cite this example. In South Africa, one of the women bare 15 children, and this is not her choice, but this is the health issues that has been carrying, the continuous pregnancy. And she is living in the life of poverty because of this. And so in these questions, our solution is to illegalize abortion. No, our solution is to legalize abortion in order to save the women and also to save the mother and the fetus, because continuous pregnancy is very dangerous to both mothers and the fetus. And in support to this, I totally agree that abortion should be legalized. Thank you.
So, in my point of counter, I would like to mention that abortion is done regardless, obviously. It is a ban. So, safe abortion is better than a dangerous one, and as well, child should be planned, not be forced. And out here, I would like to mention some few points why women want to receive an abortion. Having a baby would dramatically change her life, physically or emotionally. Further, it would interfere her education and her career if she already have an other dependents in her life. And the other point is, if she cannot afford a baby, she cannot even afford the necessities of life for her child. Thank you.
We cannot use abortion to make up for our mistakes. This is wrong. And the second one, okay, for health issues and rapes, there is a consideration for abortion in these cases. And one of them said the rape in India and Nagaland. Well, in the context of Nagaland, the causes of abortion due to rape sums up to only 1%. And in both the cases, there is a consideration. So we cannot use these points to make abortion legal in India. Thank you.
I'm just trying to process why all of my opponents are talking about killing and murder of a child, as if a woman is, intentionally getting pregnant, waiting for 24 weeks and waiting to get an abortion. Unwanted pregnancies are a reality of life. We all agree that. There is a difference between a woman trying to conceive a baby and unexpected pregnancy. Just a woman suddenly finding out at the 7-week or 10-week, isn't it? And as my opponent has mentioned, why the Constitution has made abortion illegal. Okay, and she stands against that. She mentioned as it. So I would like to say that the judiciary of the Indian Constitution consists of all the highly educated intellectuals of the country, and legalizing abortion did not just come in a snap of a finger. It took years and years of research for the intellectuals to, come to a conclusion and making it illegal and making it legal. So I think that's right. And for I want to mention about the Turnaway study by Diana Grenard Foster, a 10-year, 1,000 women consequences of having and being denied the right to, of abortion. So researchers found that most women who were denied abortion were, subjected to complications of health and then mental issues and anxiety, loss of self-esteem. So I really want to say that if you're really, really concerned about the mental health of a woman, give them the right to have an abortion. Thank you.
To my point, what my competitors have said, I strongly oppose to that. First of all, USA, being the most powerful country in the world, they have recently passed a law for the topic we're discussing, abortion, which is illegal there. So just leave it about USA or wherever it may be. One of my opposition said, talk about India, talk about Nagaland. Talking about Nagaland, I believe it is one of the most peaceful states in India. Do you agree? We hardly see rape cases in Nagaland. I believe we Nagas, we keep women with pride and respect. And I believe there is less chances of rape case and abortion here. So I believe that abortion shouldn't be legalized. Secondly, talking about one of my opinions saying that economically stable or something, but before you think about giving a birth to a baby, why didn't you think while having intercourse with your partner? The first thing you should think was at the point where you had intercourse with your partner, not after after the intercourse you're carrying a baby for abortion. So that's a point that I want to say to every one of you. Secondly, adoption. You can put up the child to adoption. I don't know about other villages, but I see in and around that hospitals take adoption for unwanted child and also orphanages, and they take good care of those children. So I strongly oppose to your point. So thank you.
Okay, I've heard about the religions. You're talking about religions. See, sex and pregnancy is apart from our, what do you say, like, it's a part of our human life, right? And unwanted pregnancy, it goes, right? See, we have different kind of different religions, right? We belong to different religions, and there's not only the Christian religions exist in this very world, right? So the religion thing is things should not bring up in this very topic, right? Because we have different kind of concept, different kind of following, like denomination and all. Also, see, Bible doesn't say that. Bible says, what do you say, like God says humans should be treated equally, right? Right. But it also says we should not have sex, right? So, see, if 16 years old a girl child got an unwanted pregnancy, then how can we say that? How can we force her to give birth to that very child, right? Because she is not willing, she is not in a state to become a parenthood. So, the thing is, we should not ban this abortion, and we should legalize this abortion. Thank you.
Let's talk about women's rights. We are not talking about women's rights here. We are talking about the rights of the unborn child. You talk about unwanted pregnancy. When does unwanted pregnancy occurs? When two couples have casual sex outside the marriage. The same organizations and so-called social activities, these are the same people who promote the rights of the LGBTQ communities. Are we to abandon our Christian morals and principles for these liberal and westernized principles? And regarding other religions, abortion is a pap, a sin. Pap is a Hindu word for both the Sikhs, the Hindus, and the Muslims. So you cannot say don't bring other religions into this, because all the religions say that abortion is a sin. You say that it is a lifeless fetus, but those are very manipulative words. Those are jargons used by the medical industry to cover up the evil deeds. In the first trimester, the baby starts to develop its heart. It starts to develop its organs. In the second trimester, it starts to hear and it responds to your voice. In the third trimester, it can hear your voice and it can make minute movements within the mother's womb. How can you say that a baby which can move, which can feel pain, which can hear is a lifeless body? How can you kill that? See, they are very manipulative. They say take an abortion pill to cancel the pregnancy. when really it is taking a drug to poison the womb, to kill the baby. They say go for surgical operations, but really it is taking a surgical plier to pierce the mother's womb and to shred the baby into pieces and to suck it out. So just imagine about that. Thank you.
In response to my worthy opponents who have stated again and again that it is a murder without no proper facts, I would like to request you all to please go home and reflect back at the IPC section 10. Yes, and coming back to religion, who says religion? See, the first priority as when a woman is pregnant is to save the life of a mother, right? So even the Buddhists, when it comes to religion, even the Buddhists permits pregnancy, permits abortion when the life of a mother is at risk. Even the Hindu ideology says it is allowed to do abortion when the life of a mother is at risk. Not only that, even the Medical Termination Act of 1971 says it is allowed to do abortion when the life of a mother is at risk. So I think that matters the most. Thank you.
Tara Sander Lee, Director of Life Science, has stated that life begins from the moment of conception. That is when male sperm fertilizes the egg. So it is a murder if you're killing something that is alive inside your belly. And here, my fellow opponents, they were talking about my body, my wish, so my rights. So here, my dear, we are not talking about your body. We are talking about a living being that is growing inside you. And regarding the rape cases that my opponents are stretching about, for which we should legalize abortion, a rape victim, I guess, she can go and take treatment beforehand rather than waiting for conceiving a baby and going for abortion. And moreover, if there is increase in the access of contraceptives and birth control, health insurance, I guess abortion is not necessary. And moreover, if a fetus is legally dead or scientifically dead, how can we imagine, or how can we imagine the fact that as a baby, when a baby is delivered, he or she comes up alive, taking breathing. So I guess these are some of the facts that we have to take into account when talking such irrational points. Thank you.
As one of my opponents had mentioned that rape cases is very less in Nagaland. My dear opponent, abortion, we are talking whole of it globally. Only in Nagaland there is no woman who can give abortion. And my second opponent has said that abortion is a sin. My dear opponent, do you think that killing a child after birth, if she is born as a girl like Bihar, do you think that is a blessing? No, that is the biggest murder. And my other opponent has mentioned that after the rape, girl can go for a treatment. How can you say that without protection she has been raped, and then after that she has been pregnant? How can she go for a treatment? The only option is abortion. And yes, this abortion will also lead to high population. If we are already living in the second largest population in the world, and with the enormous increase of population, there will be a high increase of unemployment, which we have been drastically complaining. And after birth, that is infanticide, killing of innocent child is not being accepted in a society. Instead, abortion without pain, where the fetus is dead, that is accepted. Thank you.
First of all, I would like to tell that I don't want to mention any religious issue in that, but one of my participants here told that even Hinduism support abortion. So I would like to ask, can you suggest me one name in Hindi language about abortion? Any Hindi word for abortion? Can you suggest me? I think no, because there is no Hindi word for abortion, because our Hinduism does not support abortion. It seems a sign for us. And second thing I would like to mention is that many of them mention that it's for avoiding unwanted pregnancies. So I would like to say it's not the only way to avoid unwanted pregnancies. There are so many preservatives can be used to avoid unwanted pregnancies. I would like to mention some of that. Some tablets, injections, condoms are some of the very famous preservatives used for avoiding unwanted pregnancies. And some of them is mentioned like again and again I was telling that it is murder, and I would like to say, of course it is murder, but like some of them have mentioned that woman has its own right on its body. Whatever she wants, she can go for abortion. If she don't want, she cannot. So I would like to ask, obviously she have right on her body, but did she have right on the baby's life? I would like to listen the answer. I think no. She don't have the right on the baby's life. Thank you.
So one of our worldly opponents, he mentioned there is no unprotected or there is not unwanted sexual intercourse. So let me tell you, rape and incest are one of the unwanted pregnancies. They're one of the unwanted pregnancies. And then on 26th of August 2002, in the Indian Times of India, it was reported in Telangana that a 13-year-old girl was gang raped and was pregnant. So she was a class 6 student. So I want to ask to our worldly opponents, how will you just abandon her education? Will you just abandon her social status? And will she just keep on carrying the baby when she is not even capable of being a baby? Anyone can be a father and mother, but not everyone can be a parent. So will she take responsibilities, leaving her education aside, her social dignities aside? And then moving on to the second question, I would say that Medical Termination of Pregnancies Act 1971 says that a person can get access to abortion if she, with reasons like rape, incest sex, in times of disasters, and then if there is abnormalities in the child's body, or if there is some harm that can cause the mother's life, that like ectopic pregnancy. So I would like to ask a question that if the state, as you say that the state put a ban on abortion, will the women who have ectopic pregnancies, will the woman whose life can't be saved if she doesn't remove a baby, will you just stick with the law and kill both the baby as well as the child, or will you at least save the mother's life because the baby was already inside the womb and she could only be saved only after removing the baby? Thank you.
India has been fighting female infanticide before independence, even before the Britishers left India. So abortion is ultimately giving the flame to the fire of female infanticide. If abortion is fully legalized, the people would take this as a chance to kill more and more female child who is not even born. And for the opponent, they have a fantastic opinions on their own. However, I would like to encounter on that man cannot live by water or food alone. It also needs soil, it also needs the environment, and as well as oxygen to live in. So you cannot particularly legalize abortion just because women are raped in India. There are also other aspects. Yeah. So if we see the other aspects, men cannot live we are dragging religion here, we are dragging socialism here and everything else, but we are here to understand why the Constitution India had to legalize abortion, and that is the topic we should be talking on. And like one of the opponents say, intellectuals have been researching and they have given an opinion. I appreciate that their intelligence, kudos to them. But if one day these intellectuals feel that the world is too small for the population that is growing, and they give a room that they need to really kill people because of their intellectual researchers, that people are too much in the world, will we still sit here debate on the importance of life? That is my question, and I would love to hear it. Thank you.
One of our worthy opponents has said that if a child is aborted, he or a parent should be penalized to death. Okay, if a parent is not able to afford the living standards of a child, will it not be automatically considered as murdering the child by bringing into this world and not giving them the proper living standards? Secondly, most of my opponents have been talking about intercourse sex and have been also going to some religious concepts. So let me clearly say that in Christianity, sex is considered as a gift. And sex, scientifically, is a natural thing that one cannot control. There are cases and instances, even if you take birth controls or use protections, there are cases when women end up being pregnant. So how can you say that everything is guaranteed? How can you say that abortion should not be illegalized? Because in such situations, if taking the present scenario of India, we are highly populated. There is inflation, as you all can see. The government cannot provide employment to the people. So how can you expect the parent to raise their child if they're not employed? And also, until and unless the government can assure or do something to support women and promote or support them during their pregnancy, how can you expect the woman alone to raise a child with no support? Thank you.
Well, since our opponent has spoke a lot about mental health and about the well-being of the woman, I would like to share a little story from a village called Pohoto. It's from here, from Nagaland. There was a minor and a mentally disabled girl there who was raped and she was pregnant. Well, the people of the village did not abandon her. They did not treat her like an outcast, but they treated her with love and took care of her all throughout the 9 months of her pregnancy. And now, 16 years later, I have a sister. Her name is Kishaliti Uzimomi, and she lives with me, with our family. And I would like to say that, as mentioned by my teammate, rape cases in Nagaland is less. Yes, rape cases in Nagaland is less, hence there's no abortion needed. We have to fight for rape cases. We have to fight for a better government. Then we wouldn't be here fighting for abortion. Thank you.
One of the opponents have just asked a question to us. Well, let me tell you. When the Indian Constitution have already started to boost up the right to equality for the women, then why can't women adopt the right given by the Constitution? Or are you come back here once again and ask us the same question again without going through what the article or what the Constitution of India has been given the right to each and every woman? Well, if you are very much against should abortion shall be legalized, I will tell you, even if you are very much against it, the world itself, the abortion is gonna keep going on. There will be no ending. In one aspect, let me tell you, even if we are criminalizing abortion, it's making abortion less safe, and it's making less safe for the women. And also, yes, one opponent have said about adoption. Well, let me tell you, not every of the new baby born will be taken care by their own biological parents. And I tell you, I'm very much happy to also know from you that they have set up orphanage centers and all, but not every orphanage centers will take care of the baby, of the newborn baby as the same. And also, I'm very much impressed and I'm very much pleased to hear the story of one of my opponents. But again, I will tell you that not all the parents will do that. And also, because of this adoption thing, there are a number of their domestic violence and also abuse. So, almost all the time, many of the individuals go through a lot of things, unseen things. And so, I want to conclude by saying that even if we keep on criminalizing abortion will never stop. Instead, if we are making abortion even less safer. Thank you.
One of my fellow contestants, she said about mental and serious illness. A woman is having mental and serious illness. It's better to do abortions than even killing herself. But even I could say, if a woman is having mental or serious illness, then why to go for unprotected sex? Either use protection so that you could not have to go for the pregnancy. It's the solution. Or since as someone said that having intercourse is in human nature, is the will of the God, is the gift of the God. Yes, but it's better if you are mentally or physically ill, then better use protections, better use some things that couldn't go through you to the pregnancy level. Or if adoption, I guess this will be the better line, adoptations will be better than abortions for that woman. And one says living standard. Yes, again the same answers from the living standard. If a woman doesn't have this high level of standard so that they can give a good educations or lifestyles to a baby, then better to do abortions. Before, if I can say like, before going to that, better you make your lifestyles on a level so that you can adopt, so that you can take the baby to a right path. So after that only you can go for having a baby or else things. So that's all. Thank you.
So I would like to highlight 2 points out of here. First of all, we are speaking about woman's right versus child right. Yes, we know that woman has been blessed by the Almighty to give birth to a new child. But I don't think the Almighty is too unmoral to realize that when woman is giving birth to a child, she is not a factory. She is not a factory who should not be taken care of, because we are talking about abortion as well. We are thinking that it is a modern solution. But if we are saying that we should not abort a child, rather we should allow the child to live, and we don't care about after he or she is born, we don't care how she or she is living. We just let them abort by anyone, and we are not caring or taking care of it as a parent. And speaking about child's right, a child's right is taken into consideration and must be taken into consideration. But abortion is one of the solutions only when there is serious risk, when the parent is not available on this planet anymore. And abortion should only be taken into consideration only when the mother is not in a condition to take care of the child. And also, one of my opponents say that there is no word for abortion in Hindu. Well, there is also a word for Dori in Hindu language, that is Dahej. Is Dori right? Is Dori right or no? So, whatever term, maybe if their Hindu scriptures were being written 7,000 years ago, modern problems require modern solutions. No matter how much words or vocabulary there is in the Hindu texture, that doesn't mean that if there is a term in the Hindu texture that makes it right. Thank you.
As one of our opponents has said that the unwanted pregnancy leads to increase in employment. I don't think it's related to it. Huh?
You can face the audience.
So I don't think it's related to any, like unemployment is not related to pregnancy. And secondly, and about rape victims, how they will go to hospital. If they are raped, okay, then if you don't go to hospital, how will you do the abortion? And thirdly, and about religions, even we Christians strictly don't support abortion because it's like committing a sin. And sex is a gift only after marriage, not before marriage. Moreover, it's against the 10 commandments that we should not kill. And Pope Francis explained that abortion is murder. Those who carry out abortion kill at the 3rd week after conception, often even before the mother is aware of being pregnant. All organs have already been developing. It's a human life. And lastly, I would like to say that there are many ways to avoid pregnancy, right? Why always abortion?
I believe that by placing a ban on abortion, does not stop abortion in that country. Instead, it forces people and it compels people to seek illegal and also sometimes dangerous cure against the medical system. And the government of India has made abortion illegal since 1971. Not only that, even the Supreme Court of India has said that all the women, including those who are not married, could get an abortion up to 12 weeks of pregnancy. And since some of them have said that it is dangerous for the women and their health? No, I would say that no. According to the World Health Organization, they have provided some special guidelines according to which the abortion can be done successfully. And being a girl, I would say that I would support abortion because for example, if if my in-laws force me to give birth to a baby, and if I'm not capable to give a birth to baby, should I not be allowed to get abortion? A woman knows that one day she's going to give birth to a baby. So if for now I want to achieve something great in my life, I think abortion should be legal.
Once my opponent said that abortion is not murder. They are talking about law, rules. But the reality is that the baby was alive before abortion. At the time of abortion, the baby will die. So how come it's not murder? Now I want my opponent should explain me, if abortion is legalized, then there is health issue will also come. It comes to women's body. We say that women are important. If abortion is legalized, then women will look upon as a commodity, because people will not be afraid to have sex, because abortion will be there as an escape. Thank you.
Almost all of our fellow candidates say that abortion is illegal, that's what they mentioned. So let me tell you this, India still falls under underdeveloped countries, and we still fall under below poverty line. We can see thousands of children dying every day out of hunger. So we are not ready to accept it. And when we compare with the Bible, we heard about King Herod killed thousands of children with a sword. But today it is easy. We can just kill millions with just one pill or tablet. So no matter what, abortion should be legalized. That is one thing. Second thing, one of our from the against, they have said that I mentioned about jobless, they came against of that. So let me tell you, every year all the colleges and universities produce numbers of the energetic candidates. But because of the reservation of the seats, lots of the energetic candidates are left behind, unemployed. So in this situation, they also want to go ahead with the plan. So no matter what it is, abortion needs to be legalized. And along with that, I would love to convey one of the experience about one of our sisters from India, Dr. Savita. She went to the Ireland as a medical doctor, as a dentist, but she was 17 months pregnant. So she wanted to abort, but still she was not encouraged, where she died on 20th October 2012. So in that case, except God, no one can bring someone's life from death. So why are you guys tempting like to be God? So in that case, so no matter what it is, abortion should be legalized. Thank you.
Well, my opinion, they said that abortion should be legalized in the case of rape. Why? Just because a mother is raped, an unborn child, he or she doesn't deserve to be killed or die because of the rape. As a girl, if I am raped, I am never going to abort my baby. Instead, I will take that as a challenge and give birth to my child. And secondly, they said about the mental health. Abortion is the only way that is affecting a woman who is pregnant. And the third thing is adoption. Many partners, they are going through the medical treatment because some of them, they are not able to get pregnant. Don't you think that they will take care of the child because they are in search of a baby? And then they also talk about the precious life. They say that abortion, it is taking a precious life of a woman. Then what about the unborn child? Do you think an unborn child, he or she doesn't have a precious life? So it is always illegal to abort a baby. Thank you.
One of our worthy opponents has said that abortions can be prevented by using protection, preventive measures, or tablets or contraceptive pills. But I totally disagree, because according to MTP 8 2021, it says this 8 has been amended in order to prevent the failures of the contraceptive pills. And we should, this is not my answer, this is not my opinion, but this is the MTP Act 2021, amended in order to prevent from the failures of these contraceptive bills. And so abortion should be legalized. And however, in terms of the religious perspective, I will say on Christian's perspective, one of them has said that abortion is a sin, but this is the case happening in around the Nagaland, where many women undergo counseling because of the rape cases. And rape cases is not the choice of the women, it is by force. And if it's by force, what is your solutions to this? Will she undergo abortions? Or will she just bear the baby? What is your solutions to this? And many church leaders have come to the conclusions that it is the choice of the women. So in the solutions, the choice is given to the woman, and we cannot force that either. Thank you.